Alright guys, welcome back to a brand new SOLIDWORKS tutorial. Today we'll be designing a candlestick here on SOLIDWORKS. We'll mainly be using some new features such as Revolve extrusion, where we will be able to create cylindrical pieces, and we will also use another feature called sweeping or sweep, which allows us to create irregular figures such as curves or tubing. Now the piece I will be working on in this video is going to be a candlestick. So let's go ahead and begin by clicking on the house icon and clicking on part. So let's go ahead and click on the lower right hand corner where it says MMGS. Here we'll select our units. We can go ahead and select millimeter, gram, second. You guys could go ahead and use centimeters, meters, or inch, pound, or second. But in this case I'll be using MMGS. And the first plane we'll be working on will be our front plane. So go ahead and go to the property manager design tree, right click on front plane, normal to, and go ahead and click on sketch. So once you've done that, you've opened up a new sketch on your front plane, and we will be starting by creating some lines on here. So first off, you want to go ahead and select sketch and then click on line, and you want to make 3 lines. Your first line will be a vertical line from the origin. Then from there you want to make a horizontal line to the right. Go ahead and press escape. Click line again, and you want to make another horizontal line from the origin to the right. So once you have that, you want to go ahead and dimension these lines by clicking on Smart Dimension in your sketch toolbar. In your first vertical line, you want it to be 220. In this case, it'll be 220 millimeters. So go ahead and dimension that as I show that there. Now the top line would have a measurement of 20, and the bottom one will have a measurement or length of 90. So now that you have those 3 lines, you want to go ahead and click on tangent arc. If you don't have it selected up here on your sketch toolbar, go ahead and click on the drop down menu and just select tangent arc. So go ahead and click, drag, and you just want to make sure that your arc is at 180 degrees. And just make sure you have a radius around 20. Don't worry, we'll put a smart dimension on that. So to place it, just go ahead and click again. Now for the radius of the arc, go ahead and click on Smart Dimension, click on your arc, drag out, click again, left clicking, and enter your dimension. In this case, it will be 10 millimeters. Just like that. Okay, so as our next step, you want to go ahead and create another line starting from the arc that we've just created. Go ahead and go into your sketch toolbar, click on line, and begin the line from the last endpoint we finished off. So go ahead and click, drag your line, and you want your line to be around 150. We're not going to smart dimension it just yet, but go ahead and place it for now. Go ahead and click on escape, and we want to make another arc. So the next arc we will be making is a 3-point arc. Click on the drop down menu, click on 3-point arc. And you want to place this arc right somewhere in the middle of the line we just created. So go ahead and click anywhere, as I'm showing here on my screen. Click the first point, then you want to click the second point, and you want to click on your radius. Or the center point of the circle is going to be coincident with the line we've just made. So make sure that the center of the circle is aligned with the line. So go ahead and click to place. Now the radius of our arc will have a radius of 20 millimeters. So smart dimension that right there. And now we want to go ahead and trim entities. So go ahead and click on trim entities. And you want to make sure you have trim to closest selected on the left hand side. And you just want to trim this middle area of the arc. Just like that. Once you have that, go ahead and click on smart dimension and click on the top part of the line that we created before. Drag out, and you want a length of 40 millimeters on that side. So we want that same length on the bottom line that we created before. So go ahead and hold on your control key, press on the top line and the bottom line, and in your property manager tree you want to go ahead and click on equal. So that's going to have the same dimensions. Now to define our arc into the drawing, go ahead and hold your control key, click on the center point of the arc and one of the lines here, and go ahead and click on coincident on the left hand side. And there we go. Now our arc is defined. Alright, so after this we want to create 2 more arcs. Go ahead and select tangent arc and continue from our last endpoint we left off. Just click drag, and you want your arc just right about there. Doesn't really matter the position or the radius right now. Don't worry, we'll be smart dimensioning that right after. So go ahead and place it, make sure it looks like that. And once you place it, you want to create another arc just like this, where it'll end on that last endpoint. Just like that. So once that's done, you want to smart dimension your first arc. This will have a radius of around 60 millimeters. So type that in. And this bottom arc will have a radius of around 12.50 millimeters. So type that in your modified box. You should be good to go. There we go. Now our height from here to this bottom line should be 80, just like that. Now this is a driving dimension, so it's gonna pop up and ask you to make the dimension driven. Just go ahead and click OK, so we don't over define the sketch. And just like that. So our next step is to now use a feature. So go into your features toolbar, click on revolved boss/base, and this is basically going to allow us to create this drawing into a 3D figure now. So basically what the revolve allows us to do is to basically rotate a drawing around an axis or around a line, which allows us to create cylindrical pieces. So our axis of revolution in this case, it'll be this line that we created, this 220 millimeter line. So our whole drawing, or these other curves and lines, will rotate around this line. So let's go ahead and click that. So once you click on revolve, your property manager is going to show up like this. So in axis of revolution, go ahead and click on that one line we created. Then in direction 1, you want to make sure it's on blind and on 360 degrees. So it's going to turn all the way. Go ahead and click on OK. And there we have it. We have created our revolved boss/base. So basically this is the overall body of the candlestick. So now it's time to actually make the handle for the candlestick, which will be located somewhere here in the bottom. Go ahead and work on your front plane. Go to normal 2, right click and click on sketch. Now once we're in the sketch, you want to go over here in this tools bar, go to display style, and for now just go ahead and click on hidden lines removed. Now over here you want to go ahead and click on view, hide/show, and click on temporary axis. This will basically show us the axis that we've used for our revolve, which is this line that you see crossing down in the middle. This will help us basically orientate or locate our handle for the candlestick. So starting off, let's go ahead and make a line up here, starting from the temporary axis here. Just a simple horizontal line like that, and we want to dimension that to 60 millimeters. Just like that. Alright, we want to make another tangent arc starting from the endpoint of the last line we made. Go ahead and click on that endpoint and just pull out a arc somewhere around here. Once you've done that, click on escape, and you want to smart dimension the arc to around 150 millimeters. Just like that. Now the height between this endpoint and this point where the arc and the line coincide, you want to make sure it has a height of 65. There we go. Just like that. So finally, let's go ahead and make another tangent arc. So select tangent arc, and you want to continue it from the last endpoint we left off. And you just want to make a little arc somewhere around here. And you want to dimension that to a radius of 20 millimeters. So in your modified box, go ahead and type that in. Now go ahead and hold on your control key. Click on this dot here and on this other point here. And in your property manager on your left hand side, you want to go ahead and click on horizontal. So it's going to align those points in one single horizontal line. Go ahead and click on OK. Perfect. Alright, so now this is basically the sweep path for the handle for the candlestick. This is actually going to go to on the bottom of the candlestick, so let's go ahead and smart dimension that. So from this point here, you want to go ahead and click all the way down to the origin, and you want to dimension that to 10 millimeters, just like that. So now the handle of the actual candlestick is going to be at the bottom of the actual candlestick. Alright, so once you've done that, you want to go ahead and exit the sketch. So go ahead and click on exit sketch. And you want to go into your right plane. You want to normal to. And you want to make a sketch on the right plane. So go ahead and click on sketch on your right plane. Remember, this is another different sketch. So we're going to have two sketches. And the sketch will basically be working on the girth or the width of the sweep. And on the other sketch, it's basically the sweep path or the shape that our sweep is going to take. So let's go ahead and start by making what is an ellipse. Let's go ahead and place it basically anywhere we want on the screen. Somewhere around there. Don't worry about the dimensions right now. We'll go ahead and place them. So let's go ahead and make an ellipse somewhere around there. Doesn't really matter where you put it. Alright, so go ahead and hold down your control key. Click on this point and on this point. And you just want to make sure they are horizontal. So that we have those relations right there. Now let's go ahead and dimension our ellipse. Go to Smart Dimension. Click on this bottom point and the top point, and that'll be set to 10 millimeters. And the left hand and the right hand points will be set to 35 millimeters. So go ahead and place that. So once you have your ellipse ready here on the sketch, go ahead and go to your isometric view on the top of this toolbar. Click on isometric view. And if you can't really see that well, go ahead and zoom in. You want to go ahead and hold on your control key. Click on the center of your ellipse. And click on the starting point of the sweep path we created before. So here it's going to let us apply some relations. In this case, we want it to be coincident. So under add relations, go ahead and click coincident. And just like that, it'll basically connect our ellipse to our sweep path. So go ahead and click on OK. There we go. So once we have that, let's go into our features toolbar, click on swept boss/base. And this property manager on your left hand side will pop up. So for profile, you want to go ahead and click on your ellipse. So this will be like kind of like the girth or the width of your sweep. And for path, which is the second box, we will select our sweep path, which will be this sketch. Just like that. Alright, so once you have that, you want to go ahead and click on the check mark. And our sweep is done. So to get a better view of this, let's go ahead and go back into the display style and click on shaded with edges. And let's go ahead and turn off our temporary access for now. Just like that. So as you can see, we already have basically the candlestick base along with the handle we just created. Now, last but not least, let's go ahead and make a little extruded cut so we can actually place a candle inside the candlestick. So go ahead and right click on the top face of our figure, click on normal 2, and you want to right click again and click on sketch. So let's go ahead and make a circle starting from the origin, right about there. And you want the circle to have a diameter of 30 millimeters. So in the modify box, go ahead and click and type in 30 millimeters. Just like that. For a better view, let's go ahead into isometric. Go into your features toolbar and click on extruded cut. Right there. So make sure it's set to blind. And your depth is going to be around 25 millimeters. So go ahead and type that in your property manager and click on OK. There we go. Now we have a nice little perforation done in the candlestick where we could place our candle. Now as a final touch, we can actually go ahead and add some color if you want. Click on edit appearance. And just add a color you'd like. Let's add this kind of yellowish color to make it look kind of like an old candlestick. But that's basically the whole piece for this lesson today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned 2 new features, which is Revolve and Swept. They are really useful for, especially Revolve for cylindrical pieces and Swept for tubing and other applications. But like I said, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something new. And I'll see you guys in another video. Thank you.